Hi. Thanks, Kat. I have a theory that we're gonna have a bunch of Jesus Christ, it makes me look like a ghost. I have a theory that we're gonna have a bunch of casual subscribers and viewers rolling in for this one because of the juicy topic. Are you gonna knock it down? Thanks, Kat. It's I do have to admit that it is more interesting than my usual generic video titles or the cryptic ones or the boring ones like bags and lip gloss. Yeah, that's interesting, Mac. It's I know what you're thinking. You're seeing the title and you're thinking, oh, she likes someone. Mac's in love. And let me crush your dreams and disappoint you right off the bat because I don't actually have feelings for this guy. If I had to define it, the phrase to use is I like him. It's the words that fit best. I like him in the kind of way that he's interesting to talk to and he's funny and he's cute to boot. Surprise rhyme. And I think that it's very dark here, look at this. And it's like a technicality because I'm attracted to him. I've been attracted to him since the first time I saw him, and that was before I knew him. And then I got to know him, and it turns out that he's a really nice person, which of course is completely unfair. Because how dare he look the way he looks and also be a nice person? Completely unfair, of course. And I would happily make out with his face. And you don't usually want to make out with your friends. So it's kind of I technically want to be more than friends. So it is kind of a technicality that, and I do like him as a person, or I appreciate him as a person, at least. But that fact, in and of itself, isn't enough to mean anything. But it does fuel my attraction. But same thing there, like me being attracted to him in and of itself isn't something that can stand alone. It's not a thing, but it's a little bit of this and it's a little bit of this, and together it's something that just drives me a little bit crazy. There are things that I like about him. Like, I want to stress the fact that it's not merely physical. It's not only superficial. I do like him as a person. There are things that I like about him, but it's like a friendship, but with a hint of something more. And that's it. He is a great person. We're similar enough that we have things in common, but we're different enough that it's interesting. He's fun to talk to. He feels real. We have actual conversations, and I can say something or have an opinion, and he will argue with that in a good way, and make valid points of his own. And he's intelligent, and he can be professional, but he's also silly and kind of just like loose. So he's like me in that way, and he's funny. We have the same kind of humor. I've laughed countless times out loud at the shit he says or ideas that he comes up with. And so it's like we're different enough that he's definitely a unique individual, and I like that. He's not like everyone else, and I think that I enjoy that. And there are things I like his personality just in general, and there are these little things that I find endearing, like little personality traits and habits. He has a way, for example, of using words twice. Like if he's eating something that's good, he can go like yum yum. Or if you're talking to him, you can say yep yep. And it's just, that's endearing. That's something that's a bit cute. And he also has this way of, he has a habit of winking with like both his eyes and scrunching up his nose, like, and when he does that, it kind of makes me want to claw my own face off because I think it's adorable. And just superficially, like physically, he has amazing eyes. They are so beautiful. They're really bright. They kind of leave you a little breathless. And he has a great smile and a really nice voice. He has great hair, really, really great hair. I feel like I want to touch his hair. I'd love to run my fingers through it. But it's like I want to be friends, but with added kissing. That would be ideal. But that's like where it ends for me. I don't think we're gonna get married and have kids and buy a Volvo or something. And he knows this. In fact, he knows that I like him in some way, because I'm a fan of using my words. So I did that, and it's especially easy, of course, when there's no risk involved. When I'm very neutral on the whole thing. Obviously, like I keep saying, I do want to make out with his face, so I'm obviously not completely neutral, but neutral's in the mix. So it's not like I'm that invested, because I'm not in love with him. I don't want to marry him. I don't want to be in a relationship. I mean, I live my life saying never say never. And it's not that I'm completely opposed to it. I'd like some sort of meaningful relationship at some point in my life, but the whole thing is just so beyond me. It's really not my area at all. I'm better at feelings, like emotions and affection, than most of my friends. But they're my friends for a reason, because we're very similar, and it's just not my area. I don't know how to explain it. So it's like I like him and I want him, but in my own way. I just kind of want, it would be nice to like be friends, but with that hint of something else, to be able to be kind of flirty and cute and affectionate and kind of cutesy, cuddly, with added kissing. Because if I was allowed, I had the opportunity to kiss that boy, I would do it in a heartbeat. So I'd love to just be cutesy, flirty, affectionate with him. Like his wonderful hair, it's a little bit longer, and sometimes it falls a little bit like across his face, and it makes me kind of just want to brush it away, in a way that is slightly more affectionate than with a friend. And then I want to make out with his face. So obviously there is something there, but it's nothing substantial, and I know that we're on the same page, that we both agree that we shouldn't kick the door wide open and talk about baby names. The door should definitely remain mostly closed with the latch on, the chain. But I kind of want to leave it open just half an inch. But that's literally all I'm after. Like that's all I want. I don't know if I should want more, if it's like I'm not like everyone else, and I don't know, but he's not either, so that's good. And I really, that's all I'm after, that's all I want, that just to be able to be cutesy, flirty, like I don't have a word for it, so I'm trying to collect a bunch of words, like being kind of affectionate and sweet with each other, a little bit flirty, like, and be able to make out with him. But that's literally it. That's, for me, that's it. That is, I keep overusing the word literally, but because I feel like I really want to get my point across, that's where it ends. That's like it for me. And again, sure, never say never, but it's, so there's that. So there's definitely some sort of me liking him in some way and appreciating him, but that's kind of where it ends. And because because there's nothing here, nothing substantial, I would be absolutely fine closing the door completely, and then we could just define this as 100% friendship only. You know, not, and then I just kind of want to know if I should close the door completely or leave it open that half inch. Because when I told him, first of all, at the end of the conversation we had, I felt like I got my point across. But when I started out, I think I came across as a little too much as a lovesick schoolgirl. Like, I think I like you, and I kind of just want to talk to you all the time. And that, just black and white, just looking at it, makes it sound like there's something more than there is. And I don't know, for me it's difficult because I know exactly what I'm feeling, of course, because I'm the one feeling it. So to me it's everything makes perfect sense. And I don't know if that's good or bad, or if it's a good idea or a bad idea, or I don't know, because people are different, and it can be difficult to, I don't know, explain. So, but that's kind of it. That's the gist of it. But I feel like when we had the conversation that it was a very reasonable, I know some of his views on relationships and such, and that was a very reasonable thing to talk about and very appreciated. And those are some views that I could agree with, but that isn't relevant, because whether I agree or not, it's not something, like, that's, the future to me is completely irrelevant. Like, that is, it's really not my area. Like, one day I hope to be able to, it's such a hassle, and maybe one day I can make sense of it, and sure, what the fuck, even, like, never say never, maybe even with him. I mean, that sounds, it's so not my area at all. And I don't know if that's douchey, or if it makes sense, or because I do want to stress the fact that there's something about him as a person that I like, but so it's not just but it's, then I don't want to stress that too much, because it makes it seem like there's something, and it's not really, but it's a mix of the two, and there's something, you know. So but that's all I would want, you know. So it's kind of low stakes, not a lot to ask for, and I don't know if he wants more than that, or less than that, or exactly that. So I kind of want to know. Maybe I need to do some follow-up questions after the conversation we had, because I felt like there was such an extreme focus on some sort of potential future that we lost track of the here and now. Because that made me feel like strange, because it was it's so irrelevant to me. And then he asked me, like, he was like, oh, are you disappointed? But no, we both agree, like, we're on the same page. I'm not professing my undying love here. I don't want to kick the door wide open and talk baby names and marry you or anything, or even be in a relationship. It's fine, you know. So I was kind of baffled, and I tried to make the point that, no, I'm, like, neutral on the whole thing, you know. And that's a difficult thing to get across, because obviously, like I say, I do want to, like, kiss and make out with his face, but that I'm still kind of neutral about it. Like, I've been through this before it was around 2008 or 9 or something like that. There was a guy that was cute, and he made me laugh, and I actively started realizing that, like, thinking about it. So I told him that. I was like, hey, you're cool. And he said, oh, that's never ever crossed my mind. And I said, that's a shame, because you're really cute. But that was that. That was it. And I feel like that could be the same thing here, that if, I don't know, so I know that there's some sort of future thing is, but that was never really relevant for me anyway. I get, like, oh, it's so not my area. And possibly I should just forget about the whole thing. and just close the door without doing follow-up questions, which is kind of, I don't know. I just feel confused about what he thinks and feels like right in this moment, in the present. Because if there's something, like I say, if I ever had the opportunity to kiss that boy, I would do it in a heartbeat. So there is that. Except for that, it's actually I'm realizing that this topic is juicier than I thought. I think it would be a lot more bland if I just sat down to make a video blog and say, I like someone, I'm falling in love with someone. That would be so boring, and that would be all I would have to say about it. But now it's and that's an interesting twist on it. So that's interesting. He might actually watch this video. I realize he knows that I video blog, and he said before that he knows that it's my way of getting things out. So if I want to do that, he said that it's fine. And now I'm realizing that I'm doing it. So wow, hopefully he thinks it's okay. I definitely think he does. You don't even know who he is anyway, so why should it matter? But that means that I should talk to him before this goes public, because I don't want him to indirectly see a video of me going like, follow-up questions, these are all my thoughts and feelings. Then I want to be an adult and talk to him directly and use my words. So then I'm going to have to poke him about that, or at least poke him about the fact that I made a video or something. I don't want him to be like, oh, this is elementary school, my friend's friend is texting him or something. No, I don't want it to be like, here, look, I made a video that indirectly, whatever. This video is for me and not for him, so, but it's tied in both, so, and kind of for you, I suppose, for the internet, because that's what I'm doing with my blogs or blog. Interesting. I am going to, because that's the gist of it, I don't know what else I could say, so I'm gonna go make tea, and I'm literally gonna do that because I know I say that all the time, but it's kind of a fluke that I made videos, and today I haven't had any tea yet, so I wanted to make the video first though, so because I make big cups of tea sometimes and it takes me a long time to drink them, so I was thinking that I was gonna do that after the video, otherwise I'll have to wait with the video for so long. And I've been talking for 17 minutes now, which is kind of a record for me, and I'm starting to feel uncomfortable with the length of my videos again, and I haven't felt that for maybe a year or two. I haven't cared, and I think I care a little bit now. So I'm gonna try to make short videos for a while. The long ones are gonna stay, the honest, true, rambly, unedited stuff is obviously always gonna be there, because it's so convenient and it's the way that I most enjoy video blogging. But I'm gonna start to try to make shorter videos too, whether they're edited or not, I don't know. Maybe I'll do some sort of basic jump cut, but jeez. But I do feel that I got everything across that I wanted to get across. So I'm gonna upload this, even though it's really long. I'm not gonna apologize. In fact, I'm gonna go make tea instead, so I'll see you later, alligator. I hope that made sense. I hope it made sense. That's the thing he does too. He has a habit of saying, I don't have the voice for it, but he does. And that's also something that's very endearing. I like that. Well, time to go.